Tomatoes are impressive plants, growing to new heights seemingly in real time right before our eyes. And because of this, our vine-type indeterminate tomatoes need our support to look and perform their best. Growing these beauties vertically is the only way to guarantee their success. Hi, I'm Jeff from the Ripe Tomato Farms. Welcome back to another episode of the Garden Quickie, the show where in 2 minutes or less, we support you and your tomatoes. And today's episode is going to be all about those tomatoes. More specifically, 3 ways to trellis your vine tomatoes so that they can grow to their full potential. Hey, time's short as you know it is, so let's dive in. As we've discussed in previous videos, there are 2 main categories of tomatoes: determinate or bush type and indeterminate or vine type. While determinate varieties most certainly benefit from staking and support, we're going to be focusing on the vine type of tomatoes today. And so the first way for us to support our tomato plants is by using a simple single stake. Basically, a pole or long piece of wood is staked vertically into the ground right beside the main stem of your tomato plant. Ideally, you do this at the time of planting or even before if possible, but today we don't have that luxury. Of our 3 ways to support your tomato plants, this is the most basic. Still though, highly effective. The second way that we're covering here today is to use what's called tomato cages. These are normally store-bought aluminum, or sometimes steel, wire contraptions that are even more crude than the simple stake. They can work well for the determinate or bush type tomatoes, yes, but for our vine varieties, they're often too small. Modifications or add-ons like my dad has done here for my mom's tomatoes can work well in a pinch though. Don't be shy to use your creativity. The tomatoes won't mind. And our third way to trellis large indeterminate types of tomatoes is by constructing an actual trellis using string, rope, or something like this wire here. Whatever material you choose to use, it's basically suspended vertically, sometimes 8 feet or more, by a more permanent structure. The tomatoes are then attached to these vertical lines incrementally as they grow up. For me, I've always just used twist ties with great success, but you can use string, yarn, straps, or even those tomato clips. In fact, I'm going to try using some of these Velcro strips this year for the first time. Thin wire or even fishing line can cut into your tomato plants, especially on windy days when those stalks move back and forth, so they should be avoided. For most of the indeterminate types that I grow, I secure my tomato plants about 6 inches from the base, and then again every 2 to 3 nodes. Do note that you always want to tie your tomato plants up directly above a node, and never directly below, as that will most likely become a point of failure. I've seen more than one tomato plant stem snap right in half because it was tied up directly below the node. It sounds like a simple thing, but it's really important. Other than that, there's nothing left to do but sit and wait for some delicious tomatoes. And while we do, check out the next episode of the Garden Quickie. Thanks for watching, guys. And hey, if Garden Quickies are your thing, make sure to subscribe and click on this playlist here as we explore and solve more growing issues in 2 minutes or less.